Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, as you see here on Twitter, at DFS Jerusalem. Today, what we're going to be doing is talking a little bit about last night's action, man. It was a bad night for me. It was bad. We can talk about last night's action. We're gonna talk about a little bit of what we can expect going into today. Of course, you know we've got a pretty different slates of games today. Now we got a 12 game all day that starts at 12:10, but we've got 5 games in the early, and then we have 6 games in a main at 7:10. So there's gonna be 2 slates. It's kind of choppy, man. You got a 5 and a 6, and I don't mind the smaller slates. I'm gonna have some invested in that 5 gamer. I'm gonna also hook up some parlays for the day. I'll be over on Bovada and Bet Online doing a little parlay stuff. So today should still be action packed. It should still be action packed. Okay, and just a quick breakdown of my evening. Okay, a quick breakdown. Let's go check out the Twitter. Give you a quick breakdown of my evening. First, we're gonna start with the gang stack of the night. Okay, and 44% of people love the Yankees. I got cute. Did not want to stack the Yankees. I did have some exposure. Didn't want to stack the Yankees. I didn't have a ton of Gary Sanchez. Didn't have a lot of Gary Sanchez, and I should have. I felt like I was chasing because he just hit 2 jacks the night before. I was like, yo, the dude is not going to hit one tonight. Everybody's going to be on him. I'm going to fade. I'm going to go Avila over here. And that just didn't work out awesomely. The Reds sucked. The Reds sucked against the Cubs. The Cubs killed it. Okay? Miami Marlins were horrible. The Philadelphia Phillies killed it. The Dodgers were not very good either. And the funny thing about last night's slate was, we were in the right spots, but just not on a lot of the right plays. And one of the things that we did, this is my best lineup from last night. Okay, and it was the Kluberino joint. It was a Kluberino joint. So not only did I avoid batter chalk, I got too jiggy with it. I avoided a lot of the batter chalk. I also avoided the pitcher chalk that ran everybody down. The Weaver kid. The Weaver kid goes out and 10 Ks, goes ham at 6 point something, 6.9 or something. Everybody has him. He's 35, 38% owned. I had very little exposure to him. He went nuts. So we go into the line drive, and we make this Kluberino joint. We make it, and it wasn't a bad line. It wasn't a bad line. I'm talking. It was straight Philadelphia, San Diego, Kluber, Severino, and it wasn't a bad line at all. It really wasn't. So let's see who went gang last night. Okay, we talk about who went gang. Yo, it was easy. The Toronto Blue Jays. At a certain point, I was getting notifications from DK Live that everybody that plays for the Toronto Blue Jays was hitting home runs. It was nuts. It was like jack. It was crazy. Like everybody hit a jack. So if you had them stacked in any way, shape, or form, you were good. If you had any Kiermaier from Tampa on the other side of this specific game, you were good. We saw a lot of really great scoring. A lot of great scoring. So let's talk about some of the stud pitchers. Okay, Rich Hill. We talk about Rich Hill. We chop him up. I don't know if I can get 10 Ks from Rich Hill. I don't know if I can get 7, 8 innings from Rich Hill. The Dodgers go up on him. They want to save their pitching for the playoffs. They got a very great bullpen. They're probably not going to have guys pitch deeply into games. Shitting me. The man pitched damn near 10 innings. Crazy. 40.15, right? Then Weaver, second place. 36 outscores Kluber. Drew Pomeranz, 29 in the same game, right there with Kluber. Severino, 28. Mark Leiter Jr. blows up. So it was for me. I missed on the pitching, and when you miss on pitching, and the bats were okay. I had decent bats. I just missed on pitching. All right, taking a look at some of the duds here, man. Cashner, dud. Stroman. Yo, I'm so glad none of us fell for that Stroman shit. Stroman, dud. Chassin was not very good. Wojciechowski, we knew better than that. Austin Pruitt, horrible. Jordan Zimmerman, -8. Nicolino, no way we were going to play Nicolino. No way. So, it's always a learning experience. Always a learning experience. I hope you all went and checked out the homie D Pope 919, Dexter Pope on YouTube. Really solid stuff, man. A long time sweatshop member, one of the homies. Really hope you went and check him out. Him and the 100 Band Clan, man, they went live on YouTube last night, chopped up the PGA slate. Really solid stuff there for them cats, man. Always good to see them do their thing, man. Shout out to ACP to Don, Seth Rudnick, Caleb. Shout out to Caleb and all other cats that really know their golf. So let's go ahead, man. We're gonna jump into the slate, and I'm gonna attack it from a slate by slate standpoint. We're gonna talk about the early first, because on DraftKings you got a 5-game early, and we're gonna talk about that, and then we're gonna jump to the 6-game night. Okay, so let's go and get into it, man. And what we're doing here is we're gonna hammer down pitching. We can talk a little bit more about batter stacks and how things may go, because honestly, the only line we're probably not gonna have close to 12 o'clock is gonna be the Colorado, Kansas City. We should get the rest of these. We should get the Arizona Mets first, the Miami, Philadelphia, New York, Detroit, Toronto, Tampa Bay. We should have all of that by 12 o'clock. By the time lineups lock, we should have these 4. We may have to wait a little bit for the Kansas City, Colorado. All right. So let's go ahead and chop it up, man. The first game we're going to talk about is the Arizona Diamondbacks on the road, going to Citi Field, taking on the New York Mets here. 6-mile-per-hour wind coming back toward the infield. 0% chance of rain. 53 dew point. 78-degree temperature here. Yo, shout out to RotoQL. This is what I'm using for as a template. If you don't have RotoQL and you want to get involved with it, yo, any of my videos, go to the comment, go to the description, go check that out, man. Really solid site. So we got Robbie Ray, 12.5, Rafael Montero, 6.2. The first thing I want to do is I want to take a look at what the Mets do at the crib versus left-handed pitching. This is going to tell me where I need to be right now. Let me take a look at them over the last month. 28.3% K rate, 142 ISO with a 227 WOBA. Yes, that means Robbie Ray is squarely in play for me here. That means Robbie Ray is in play. Now, we got Rafael Montero at 6.2. What do we want to do as far as taking a look at what the Arizona Diamondbacks do on the road versus righties? I believe they haven't been awesome either. We're taking a look here. 22.9% K rate, a 152 ISO with a 281 WOBA. That's not that horrible, and that still makes him playable against a guy like Rafael Montero, who's not very good. You take a look at his last few starts. He's priced here at 6.2, 20, 17, 2.7, 10.15, 5.1, 12.95. So definitely the Arizona Diamondbacks bats are going to be playable. For me, most notably, the lefties, cats like Peralta. I think Jake Lamb is a library book. I think Jake Lamb is a library book, where I think he's so due. So he's a guy that I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of on this early slate. Okay, the next game we got is the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. Let's take a look at what the Phillies do at the crib versus righties. I don't think they've been bad at all. As you can see, okay, 27% K rate. That's pretty high. But the 204 ISO with a 329 WOBA definitely tells us that this is a spot where we can really get involved in some of the Philadelphia bats. And I would go so far to call this game stack material, because I know the Marlins are going to come out swinging for the fences. And you look at Citizens Bank Park, it's 80 degrees. Very solid park for hitters here. We take a look at the park factor in Philadelphia. This is the 9th ranked park in terms of park factor. You get a plus 109. Citizens Bank, man, really good place for hitters, okay? So for every 100 runs produced around a league, you're going to get 101 here. For every 100 home runs produced around a league, you're going to get 117 here. So that makes Citizens Bank Park a very solid spot. If you're looking to get the next Giancarlo Stanton Jack, I would say it comes to you today. D. Gordon, 4.2, don't have a problem there. Yelich Ozuna, no issue. I like some of the Miami guys. I think the fact that they didn't play very well yesterday is going to kind of temper the ownership on them, even on this small slate. But I'm going to be all in. I do love a collection of the Philadelphia bats as well. I wouldn't touch the pitching in this spot. I would just stack up on bats here. The next game we got is my New York Yankees and Detroit Tigers. Jaime Garcia, 6.8. Michael Fulmer, 8.1. Fulmer is a bulldog, man. The dude that can pitch far into games. If his stuff is on, he is electric, man. His last game was 24.15 against the Dodgers. Before that, negative 0.75, 4.9, 19.2, negative 5.4, 24. Best start of the season, I believe. Has he cracked it? Yeah, 32 against Oakland was his best start of the season. And he's a very good pitcher. Very good pitcher. And for me, I don't think that I'm going to, jump into this game and play a ton of the Yankee bats here. I'm just not. I'm gonna go on the other side. Let's look at Detroit at the crib versus left-handed pitching to see what they've been able to do lately. Okay, nice. 217 ISO, 378 WOBA, with an 18.2% K rate. That makes them one of the more playable teams on the slate, man. Give me all the Detroit, the righties, and while you're at it, I'm gonna take a shot at Fulmer here because I think that they're gonna be in line for the win. I do. I think that because I mean we've seen the Yanks have two huge. No, I just got asked the question if RotoQL has preseason projections. RotoQL, do you see this? My people are asking for preseason projections. Get on your shit. You don't have them. No, they just doing week 1. We need you to get your shit together, okay? Come on, RotoQL. Come on now. I got 4,000 people checking you out. Get on your shit. Much love to you. Shout out to the homie Justin Park, right? So yeah, man. Yo, for the simple fact that I'm going to be so heavy on the Detroit bats, I'm going to have some exposure to Michael Fulmer. I think he's probably going to be the most contrarian pitcher play on the slate. Nobody's going to want to play him. Nobody's going to want to play him. Not against the Yankees. Everybody loves to play the Yankees. I think today's a day where we can play Michael Fulmer, stack up some Detroit bats, and be different. Be different. All right. Next game we got. Oh, and Jaime Garcia? No. No way. There's no way I can play Garcia. 7.2, 12.7, 3.1, 20.4, 16.95. In this game, I keep it with Atlanta against Arizona. He scored 27.5 and hit a jack in that game and got traded. Crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna like Fulmer and a couple of those bats. Next game we got is the Toronto Blue Jays and the Tampa Bay Rays. Tom Kohler making his first start for the Toronto Blue Jays. Alex Cobb at 8.8. We look at the Toronto Blue Jays and what they do on the road versus righties. You saw it yesterday, man. They are not bad at all. They are not bad. As a matter of fact, man, they're second in the league right now in ISO on the road versus righties. 235 ISO. Excuse me, not second. I'm sorry. Yes, second. 235 ISO, 345 WOBA, 22% K rate. Alex Cobb might be popular in some respects, but he won't be for me. I'm sticking to the numbers. I'm playing some Toronto Blue Jays bats against Cobb. As we go into the BVP, we're going to be able to check those out. Look on the other side. You got Tampa Bay here with what they do at the crib versus righties. They haven't been very great at home versus right-handed pitching. They just haven't. They really haven't. 27.8% K rate, 153 ISO with a 283 WOBA. The question then comes, is Tom Kohler a guy that can exploit the fact that at home versus right-handed pitching, the Tampa Bay Rays strike out 27% of the time? Is Tom Kohler a guy that can exploit that? I don't think so. I don't think so. Negative 0.45 against Cincinnati, 3 against Philadelphia, 14 against St. Louis. I don't know. That would be a hell of a crazy tournament flyer. Tampa Bay is a very solid spot for pitching. Stranger things have happened. Do I like any other pitchers? So far, I like Fulmer and Robbie Ray. So far, so far I like Fulmer and Robbie Ray. That's it. That's crazy. So far, I'm on Fulmer. I'm on Robbie Ray. Last game on small slate is going to be the Colorado Rockies and the Kansas City Royals. Ooh, Jake Schunis at 6.6. German Marquez, 7.6. Yo, the Colorado Rockies have pretty much been held in check so far throughout this series. Kauffman Stadium, really solid spot for pitchers. We look at German Marquez at 7.6. He's had some decent starts this season. Recently, actually, he's had some pretty decent starts. 15.95 to 16.5, a 33 of 30. That was against Washington and Pittsburgh. So he's had some decent starts, and he's got a lot of upside. You look at the Royals and what they do at the crib versus right-handed pitching. They are not awesome, okay? I'm talking 17.3% K rate, a 162 ISO, 323 WOBA. They're a team that just doesn't strike out a ton, but Junis does have some K upside here against the Colorado Rockies. Let's take a look at the Rockies on the road versus righties. They strike out a ton, all right? They're one of the worst teams in the league right now in this situation. 24. This is going to be in play for me and Marquez. Both of them are going to be in play for me. So I like 4 pitchers on the small slate. I'm going to have some Marquez, some Junis on some hedge type. I'm going to have because let's look at him. Let's look at him. 13.9 against Oakland, 31.6 against Seattle, 5.5, 12.8. So the dude is in play for me. I'm gonna have pitch exposure to both of these cats on some hedge type shit. But the 2 pitchers that I like the most are gonna be Robbie Ray in Arizona, or for Arizona going against the Mets in Citi Field, and also Fulmer. Judas doesn't have his big boy Gallagher catching tonight. His last 2 starts were with him catching, and they've been together in AAA all year. That's solid information. Solid information. All right. So you know who my favorite 2 are. Probably gonna be very popular. Robbie Ray's gonna be very popular. Fulmer is not gonna be popular at all. Those are my 2 favorite pitchers I like. Ray, Fulmer, so I'm gonna be rocking with on the early slate. Let's go ahead and jump into the main and discuss pitching. And that's what we want to do, man. We really want to hammer down our pitching, have a good idea of who we rolling with. Okay. So we've got it. I'm live on YouTube, so I won't be able to do that. The homie Alex, I'm on YouTube as well. So here we go. Now, Chicago Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. This game is going to be at Great American Ballpark, which is a very small park. 0% chance of rain, 6 mile per hour wind. The humidity is at 42%, 77 degrees. You got Jake Arrieta, 10.2, Sal Romano at 6.5. The first thing that jumps off to me is I'm attacking Sal Romano, bro. 9.5 run total, super small park. We look at what the Chicago Cubs do on the road versus right-handed pitching. Yo, this is a no-brainer for me, man. 20.5% K rate, a 183 ISO, loving the 344 WOBA. I'm definitely going to be attacking Sal Romano with some Chicago bats. That's plain to see. Very easy. We got Jake Arrieta at 10.2. Taking a look at his last few starts, 23, 23, 18, 26, 22, the model of mediocre consistency. I mean, he's not killing it. He's not dropping 30, but 20-something is decent. 20, 22, 23, 20, decent. Now, can that happen against Cincinnati in this super small park? I hope other people think that it can, because there's no way I'm playing him. I can't play Jake Arrieta here. You look at Cincinnati Reds. Votto, scary. Billy Hamilton at under 4K. I like him. Scooter Gennett under 4K. Yes, it's going to be good. You got Duvall right at 4.2. Votto, you get under 5K. Yo, I can't play a pitcher against them like that. I just can't. You look at Cincinnati at the crib versus righties, and they were pretty bad recently. I mean, earlier in the season, but now look at them. Okay, 264 ISO, 383 WOBA, 16.8% K rate. This is over the last month. This is since Cozy came back. I've said this time and time again. The Cincinnati Reds are a completely different batting order when you've got Cozart in the lineup. Completely different. He gives this team a boost out of this world, and you've seen that over the last month. At one point at home, they were toward the bottom of half of the league in terms of ISO and WOBA. But now, oh my, yo. Now, Ronald Ice Coley, the homie, brings up a good point. He says Arrieta has played well against Cincinnati, and I dig it. I can understand. I definitely do. But we look at what Cincinnati has been doing recently with the 16.8% K rate. This is no small sample size. We're looking at 232 plate appearances over the last month, where they've been hanging out at 264 ISO and a 383 WOBA. Oh man, I love it. I'm gonna be all over it. I really am, and I hope Arrieta scares people off of him. I really do, because they're in a prime spot here, prime spot, right? Next game we got is going to be the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. It is so funny that the Indians and the Red Sox are playing, and they just traded a guy or whatever, and then you got the Kyrie Irving with the trade and shit. It's craziness. Crazy. Crazy. All right, so check it out. We got Chris Sale at 3.7. Trevor Bauer, 8.3. This is a 7-run total. I think it's going to be somewhat of a pitcher's duel. 8 mile per hour wind coming back toward the infield. A 0% chance of rain. 69 degrees with a dew point of 48. I had Nunez last night, and he did hit a jack. That was awesome. He did that very late in the game. Sale is at 13.7. I'm going to tell you, on a small slate like this, a 6-game slate, fading Sale, a complete fade on Sale, especially if you're playing multiple lineups. A complete fade on Sale can kill you if he goes out and he has a Chris Sale game. The one problem is that we have used the Cleveland Indians against lefties as a thing for us. It has been a thing in the shop to play the Cleveland Indians against lefties. It's done very well for us. Okay? So let's take a look at what they've been doing recently over the last month at home against left-handed pitching, the Cleveland Indians, that is. They have not been very good. 26.9% K rate, a 123 ISO, and a 258 WOBA. For that reason, I will not be fading Chris Sale. I won't be fading Chris Sale. There's a couple of guys who I might want to play if I want to take a contrarian stance and play a couple of guys against Chris Sale. Maybe some Lindor or some E5. Maybe to play some E5. He's under 4K, but I'm not gonna load up. Yeah, Cleveland is cold, bro. Cleveland is a cold squad right now. And you look at Chris Sale, man, that dude is nasty. He is nasty. And you can pay up for him on a small slate like this. Because if he goes out and has a Chris Sale game and you don't have him, you're gonna be dead. You're gonna be dead. Because I guarantee you, on a 6-game slate, the dude's gonna be 48% owned. Like half of the people are gonna have him. So you can separate yourself really quick from the winners, or separate yourself from the losers really quick. Trevor Bauer, 8.3. He's had some pretty decent starts over the last couple of games, man. 20, 29, 27 against Colorado at home, 26, 27. The curveball is working, and he is fooling people. I think he is killing it in terms of first pitch strikes. Like, he's killing it right now. Against Boston, do you want to take that shot? You saw the pitchers duel sort of yesterday until Boston broke it open late. I think that could be the same thing where we see, both pitchers hold the scoring down, the bullpens come in, and then the game kind of opens up a little bit. So if you wanted to play Sale or Bauer, I wouldn't really have a problem with that. I'm not going to be targeting too many bats from this game at all. I'm just going to pick a pitcher and keep it moving. Okay? Next game we got is the San Diego Padres and the St. Louis Cardinals. You got Luis Perdomo, 5.9, Carlos Martinez at 12.1. And this is so disappointing because I was all over the Padres, bro. The Padres were in a prime spot for me last night. Prime. And they just could not hit that kid, man. They just could not hit that kid. And then you do this today, and you're like, Busch Stadium, solid spot for pitching. Carlos Martinez, one of the young up-and-coming ace pitchers in the league. Yes, he's going to do well against the Padres. And then probably not. The Padres probably are going to hit the shit out of him. You take a look at it. Look at what they do on the road versus righties. We're talking about the San Diego Padres here. Toward the top of the league, man. 24.9% K rate. We saw that last night. A 205 ISO, a 318 WOBA. You look at Carlos Martinez at 12.1. Over his last few starts, the dude has not been awesome. 17.5, 20, 27, 13, 18, 8.9. And he's attackable, man. He's attackable in this spot. He really is. So I don't love Carlos Martinez. To me, again, he's gonna be the pivot guy for me. Yeah, he's gonna be the pivot guy for me. If you're not playing Carlos Martinez, that means you should be playing some San Diego Padres, right? So that's how I view this game. If you're not playing Carlos Martinez, that means you should be playing some Padres bats here. Next game we got is the Minnesota Twins and the Chicago White Sox. Jose Berrios, 8.6. Derek Holland at 5.2. I'm going to tell you, Doja crushes lefties, so I do like Minnesota today. We got 12 mile per hour wind going out toward right field in U.S. Cellular, man. That is nutty. Derek Holland sucks. Jose Berrios should be in line for the win. The Chicago White Sox at the crib versus righties. They haven't been completely horrible. You look at them here, they're middle of the pack. 189 ISO, 303 WOBA with a 25.7% K rate. That's going to put Jose Berrios in play for me. Plus the fact that I love the Minnesota Twins bats here. Derek Holland is just not very good. 5.2 is the price on him. -12 and -11 in his last 2 starts. He got hit the fuck up. No reason why we should be playing some Minnesota Twins here. Let's take a look at what they do on the road versus left-handed pitching. 22.6% K rate, 162 ISO with a 347 WOBA. I definitely feel like we can play the Minnesota Twins here. Definitely feel like we can play them. Next game we got is the Washington Nationals and the Houston Astros, man. Steven Strasburg at 10.6 against the Houston Astros. That's tough, bro. Because Strasburg is not Scherzer. He is not like that dominating, ace guy. But he does have very good upside. Now we got a 16% chance of light rains in the dome, so it doesn't really matter. Get Dallas Keuchel at 11.3. We've seen them struggle against left-handed pitching. Let's take a look at what the Nats do on the road against left-handed pitching. Let's take a look because we've seen them struggle recently. 24% K rate, a 160 ISO, and a 274 WOBA. That's gonna put Dallas Keuchel in play for me. And actually, Keuchel could be the pivot guy. Keuchel could be the pivot guy. He could be. Yeah, because if you don't like him, man, I think you should play a couple of the Washington bats. So we're gonna chop that up later on today inside the line drive at 5 p.m. Strasburg, I don't like Strasburg. I don't want to attack. I don't want to go after Houston bats. I don't want to spend 10K to go to attack Houston bats. Look at Houston at home versus right-handed pitching. They haven't been prolific lately, but they're still toward the top half of the league. Only a 15.1% K rate. This team does just not strike out. 191 ISO with a 348 WOBA. I just don't want to do it. And honestly, a lot of this is going to come later on. Washington is good against lefties this season. Well, the whole season, but I try to shrink the sample size down for me over the last 30 days. I don't want to look at the complete season stats. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Yeah, I still don't want to go. I still don't want to attack Houston. I mean, I can grab a bat or two, and plus you're not going to get a discount. Like these guys, like Josh Reddick shouldn't be 4.2 against Strasburg. The fuck? No, he shouldn't be 4.2. Jose Altuve 4.7 usable. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't. Strasburg. I need 10 Ks. At 10.6, I need 10 Ks, and then he's not going to strike out 10 batters. He's not. Let's go back to take a look at Washington on the road versus lefties to see how they are. Okay, on the road against left-handed pitching, they have a 24% K rate, a 160 ISO, and a 274 WOBA. They have not been good over the last month against lefties. They just haven't. Yeah, man, DK Pricing is pretty tough. So, in the last game on the slate is going to be the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. We got Martin Perez, Troy Scribner. You know what this means for me. You know what this means. Let's stack up the Angels, baby. An Angel stack is on deck. If Cameron Maybin is there, you give me Cameron Maybin leading off. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, C.J. Cron, yes. Andrelton Simmons against Martin Perez. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. 0% chance of rain, 6-mile-per-hour wind, 68% humidity, 73 degrees. Martin Perez sucks. Give me all of the bats, the righties for the LA Angels. You look at Troy Scribner at 5.6. That's going to induce me to grab some lefty power. We look at what the Texas Rangers do on the road versus right-handed pitching. Not horrible, not awesome though. 24.2% K rate with a 149 ISO and a 297 WOBA. Yes, that is away versus righties. I love the Angels here. I'm going to have a ton of Angels in my lineup. So the pitchers that we're liking so far, who we like for the main slate in terms of pitching. Chris Sale's a guy's going to be in play for me. We're going to consider some Trevor Bauer in the main. Perdomo Barrios is a guy that we're going to be considering, and of course, that's it. That's it. How are these pitchers 7K then batters? I'll score the best when they go. Okay, yeah. So there's not a lot of pitching prospects that I like. I got Sale, Keuchel, Barrios, Bauer in the main 7-10. All right. In the early, we'll go back over the early pitching. Robbie Ray, Michael Fulmer, Jake Junis, and Marquez. Ray, Fulmer, Marquez, Junis. I like that. And most lines are going to be. I'm gonna split the difference between Marquez and Junis on some hedge life. All right. So, just wanted to come in, chop up some early slate pitching with you. Remember, yo, come check me out, man. Get with me inside the line drive at 5. We're gonna be building some lineups, man. Getting our shit together there like we did, like we do every day. If you want to be a part of that, man, hit the website up, www.dfssweatshop.com. This, of course, has been your DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Yo, I check out at 5. Let's get it. If you're on FanDuel, keep it 250. If you're on DraftKings, keep it 200. You're rocking with the best, so that means you're always keeping it 300. Peace. We out.